Good evening, everyone. Scott's off tonight. I'm Jeff Glore. The helicopters can't fly and the divers can't go in the water. Heavy storms over the Java Sea have prevented a closer search for AirAsia Flight 8501. At least 7 bodies have been recovered out of 162 people on board. Relatives have jammed a crisis center in Indonesia, desperate for word. Hundreds took part in a candlelight vigil. Alan Pizzey begins our coverage in Surabaya.
Wooden coffins, simply numbered 1 and 2, brought the first bodies back to the airport from where the doomed flight took off. They were identified only as a woman wearing blue jeans and a boy 4.5 feet tall. The recovery effort is being hampered by bad weather and is now a race against time. A search and rescue official said bodies and debris have drifted as much as 30 miles in one day. At the airport crisis center, officials compile physical details such as tattoos and birthmarks provided by relatives, anything to help with a positive identification. Each case has its own folder, its own heart-wrenching story. The ID tag Hariwadi is wearing says family member. Written on it in pen is Andreas, the name of his 32-year-old son. He also sports a small bandage on his arm, covering the spot where he gave a blood sample for DNA testing. Hadi said goodbye to his son at the airport. I didn't have any premonition, he said. I never expected this. One of the bodies recovered was 22-year-old flight attendant Harianusa Fauzi, wearing her red uniform. Her father, Haider, said she was only working one way. Then she was going to go on vacation, he said, and she was coming back on the 6th of January. The government is using cold storage containers, modified with shelves, to hold the bodies until they are autopsied and identified. Members of a church group who lost 40 of their congregation in the crash dealt with it the best way they knew how.
The key to understanding why the plane crashed lies in its black boxes, which ought to be relatively easy to find in the shallow waters of the Java Sea. But bad weather is making that extremely difficult, and the predictions for the next 2 days are that it will get worse. Jeff?
Alan Pizzey in Surabaya. Alan, thank you.